these things, the style, the tone, the behaviours, the values, are all building together to create an experience that you have when you interact with that business. And creating an internal employee experience, that means interacting with your business is a wonderful thing to do, is about creating a high performing culture. So, note number 1 on your bit of paper, just in the corner somewhere where your next door neighbour couldn't see you. I want you to just write down a mark out of 10 for yourself. It's the way you think your culture is. The environment that you're creating, the behaviours, the style, the tone of your business. So start thinking about that. And please note that we have a richer slide deck that you'll be able to take advantage of. That'll have some notes around this for you. So make sure that you check out on our stand those further materials. Okay, so we're starting to get a sense of what your culture is. The culture is your personality of the business. The culture is the words that people use to describe what your business is like. Yeah, start asking some really open and investigative questions. What 3 words would you use to describe the organisation? If those words are not words you're comfortable with, then you've probably got a bit of work to do around culture. But let's take some of the art out of this. Let's try and remove ourselves from the world of talking about creative, subjective things. And let's start thinking about, if you really want to attack your culture head on, what model can you use? Well, at Elation, about 5 years ago now, I decided that I wanted to build a set of foundations, a set of practices that would allow any organisation, no matter its size or its budget, to actually start to dig around in, have we got the right characteristics to drive performance? We created this. This is called the Total Motivation Model. You will see these slides again. You have no need to memorise them. So I want to give you an opportunity to just take them in for a second as I speak, because these are the 4 building blocks of a really high-performing business. If you have strength in all 4 of these areas in your organisation, you will have total motivation. And it is a constant job in every organisation as it evolves and changes to audit and understand these areas and make sure that it's thinking about them very seriously. So let's begin at the beginning, if I may. Building block number 1 is functional surroundings. So please make a note of that, and we'll continue to speak about that relevance there. So at a very fundamental level, a business needs to ensure that the environment that it is creating for its employees is correct. Yeah? That you have surroundings in which someone can properly and correctly do their work. So with functional surroundings, we are thinking about the quality of the furniture and the desk spaces, the quality of the technological equipment that you're providing. We're thinking about the quality of the refreshment area. We're thinking about whether people have easy access to heating, lighting, drinks, whether your range of tea and coffees is of a decent standard, whether the stationery available is of a decent standard. If I'm on the road, is my car a vehicle I can be proud of? Talking about all of the physical things that you can touch and feel in the working environment. Do they meet the standards that your business wants to hit? And let's be fair, I've lived and worked in a small business for 12 years now, and I've helped over 400 others, and we don't all have unlimited budgets. However, businesses who really do care about attracting the best provide the best. And if a very, very high caliber candidate comes into your organisation and spends several weeks working with substandard materials, you will struggle to retain that individual, and for the period of time that you keep them, they will not perform to their optimum. So please bear that in mind. So there's a lot of things that we can tangibly do around this idea of functional surroundings. Doing audits of your workspace environment, looking at your workspace environment with a design eye, trying to align your workspace environment with your brand. At Elation, we have all of our furniture and our dressings and our crockery and cutlery tied in with the brand colours. Anything that you can do to make that real for your customers and staff alike starts to build a foundation of a good performance environment. Okay. So once you've got your functional surroundings in place, that's base level for a business, people are likely to show up and feel at least capable of working. It will impact on the lower level of their motivation. The next thing is this message of consistency of expectations. Yeah? Human beings like certainty. We're creatures of habit. We like to have consistent operating policies and procedures. We like to have stability in our environment. We like to know what we can expect in any given situation. So I want you to think about your business. Think about a few things around consistency of expectations that might just help to understand how we apply these. A business that has excellent consistency of expectations delivers in a stable way throughout the journey of the employee. So we come in and we have a really great experience at recruitment. We have an interview that lays out our roles and our responsibilities. We then come on board, we have an induction. The induction is of a good quality. It helps us to know and understand how our role should be carried out. It helps to introduce us comfortably to all of our colleagues. We then carry out a role day to day that is broadly connected to the job description that we were recruited to do. And we are delivering what was set of us in that first expectation. We need to work in a business environment where we know that we'll consistently be paid on time. We know that we'll consistently have a one-to-one when we're offered one. We know that we'll consistently be managed in a good and clear way. We know that we consistently deliver to our customers. Yeah, it's in businesses where there's a lack of stability and a lack of clear messaging that people underperform. And I don't think you can ever underestimate the challenges of a lack of consistent expectations. So you think about how in your business you make incredibly clear what is expected and you deliver on that clarity. So, functional surroundings, point number one. Then we move on to consistency of expectations. If we are able to establish those two bedrocks, if we are able to make sure that our business is delivering in those areas, the next thing we really need to be thinking about is this community and acceptance. Okay. So, community and acceptance is where we're moving to a level of real quality connection with the business. This is where we are making sure that our connections go beyond the day-to-day and we're suddenly moving into an environment of trust. And the business must facilitate that. Yeah? And not just with team building exercises, which we all know are designed to create bonding between individuals, but it is not just a table tennis table that makes your business a high performing business. Yeah? What we really need to see in place is a very people-centered approach in the way that we behave. So I'll give you an example. I worked with a business not too long ago. They recognised they had cultural problems. I visited them on site. When I walked into the open plan office with the managing director, not a single human being's head raised from their desk. Yeah? In high performing businesses with as high levels of community and acceptance, everybody would have looked up from their desk and happily and positively greeted both the managing director and the guest in that business. Yeah? We're people centric. We notice one another, we see one another, we make sure that we step up and connect with one another. Maybe we send each other a birthday card on our birthdays, but we're trying to build a sense of community and connection in our organisation. And there's many things that you can do here to attempt to understand how well your business is connected. Try cross-departmental discussions. Yeah, how well do all the guys in finance know all the guys in procurement? Yeah, has the person in HR ever met the head of sales and had a coffee with them? Yeah, how are you really making sure that your business is a united workforce and everyone in it feels part of it? Recognising people's favourite coffee to drink, recognising people's favourite band are things that make people feel like they belong. And without a sense of belonging, we never give ourselves the freedom to excel. So community and acceptance, and I want you to think about how you can build that as we talk. Okay, so the final area that we build towards with these building blocks of total motivation is this idea of respect and engagement. This is the pinnacle, really. When we reach the point where everyone in your business feels highly respected and everyone in your business is engaged with and to the business, then you know that you're really creating the right environment. So respect and engagement is everyone's value recognised in that organisation. Respect and engagement is about, do I feel like I have a voice? And does that apply to everybody across the business universally? Do I have clear rigour about how I'm going to be rewarded? Equally, what are the consequences if I under-deliver? It's really intriguing for me when I work with businesses who are doing pretty well, but not brilliantly. It's very rarely the praise that's missing. It's almost always the challenge. Yeah? Respect and engagement is about taking responsibility for making sure that everyone in that business is as successful as they can possibly be. And that means critical, challenging consequences. So as much as we celebrate when we see great performance, we also need to coach, challenge and critique when we don't. And an environment that has low levels of accountability, ambitious people do not thrive. People who are desperate to be better, do better and have better need to be constantly being given guidance and tips around how to improve. So if you work in an environment with low levels of feedback, low levels of accountability, if you work in an environment where people's weaknesses aren't consistently being turned into strengths, then you are going to have a missing gap in your performance.